Thank you, everybody, for joining us at this workout, which was fun. And it's great to be in my hometown of Brooklyn. This T-shirt that's really loud says "Made in Brooklyn." The Barclays Center is a great place to be doing fights. And we're really thrilled to have this PBC on Spike show Friday night at the Barclays Center. I've been working with the Barclays Center a lot lately, and there are really nobody else better in the business than these gentlemen. I've been really impressed with the fights so far, particularly the telecasts on Spike. I thought they've been terrific. And you know, there's a long tradition of Friday night fights in boxing. And I think it's great that Spike's going to pick up that mantle now and be doing fights of the significance of Khan Algieri with that kind of star power. And also, you know, a fight like Fortuna Vasquez, which was just a great matched fight, you know, between two guys that figure to make a war. And one of the guys to thank for that is the Senior Vice President of Sports for Spike, John Slusser. Would you come up and say a few words? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks, everyone. Just really quick, we want to say thanks to all the fans coming out on Friday. We've worked really, really hard to put together this night, and this will be our third PBC on Spike. To stand up here with this great talent, this is the kind of stuff you live for as a broadcaster. And we have the opportunity to broadcast these fantastic fights with world-class talent. You know, we particularly want to thank the PBC, Lou DiBella, and on behalf of everyone at Viacom and Spike, I want to say we're going to have a great night of fights. We're going to do our best to put on a world-class show in a world-class arena, in a world-class city that we're thrilled to be at. So on Friday night, we're going to have a great time. I particularly want to thank all of our staff and our production staff who works day and night to put on a good show for you, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So thanks for coming out, and we'll see you on Friday night.
Thank you, John. I do want to acknowledge there are some promoters, other promoters involved in this show, and I want to acknowledge them. Chris Algieri has been promoted by Joe DeGuardi as Star Boxing for a number of years now, and I'd like to bring up Joe just to say a word of hello, Joe.
Thanks, Lou. It's a pleasure to be back here at the Barclays Center, where they've had some phenomenal fights. Last year, we had a great one against Ruslan Provodnikov, and we're looking to capture that magic again on Friday night. Please, it's going to be on Spike TV, great network, which has been doing some great things in boxing. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joe. And Javier Fortuna's promoted by Samson Boxing, my good friend Samson Lukowicz. Samson, you want to just... Samson's right over here. He's going to spare us so we can move quickly. Because I want to be able to acknowledge people on this great undercard. If you come to the Barclays Center, if you get tickets, you're going to get to see some fights you're not going to see on Spike. You're going to see two great fights on Spike and maybe a swing bout, but you're going to see some great fights in the arena at the Barclays Center. Ticketmaster.com, Ticketmaster, call Ticketmaster, come to the Barclays Center box office or barclayscenter.com. But I want to acknowledge some of the young men and women that are sitting up here who are on this undercard. This undercard has 5 former New York Golden Glove champions on the undercard, and 4 of them from Brooklyn, 1 from Staten Island. The gentleman from Staten Island is one of the up-and-coming stars in boxing today. He's a terrific talent. He's fighting Cornelius White in what will be the toughest test of his career so far. Marcus Brown, stand up. Thank you. This next lady's the first lady of my promotional company, one of the most popular female fighters fighting in the United States today, and certainly the most popular in New York. She's fighting a young lady, Nono Bascas from Florida, that's gotten a lot of attention herself, and this is actually a matchup that people in women's boxing are excited about. Heather, stand up. Heather Hardy, Heather the Heat Hardy. On the other side, this young man is also from Brooklyn, by way of Poland. I'm going to try to pronounce his name right because no one ever does it. Adam Koznowski. Another Golden Glove champion from Brooklyn, fighting on the undercard, undefeated Wesley Ferrer. And making his pro debut, a kid who's known, this kid's been hanging out in the gyms in New York since he was about 3. He's won a Golden Glove championship, 2 or 1? He won a Golden Glove championship. He's making his pro debut on this card. To tell you how good he may be someday, his nickname is Little B-Hop, Chris Colbert. Now, the opening bout that you're going to see on Spike, on PBC on Spike on Friday night, is a bout that I think can't miss as a style matchup. It's between two very exciting guys. Brian Vasquez is an action fighter, throws a lot of punches, comes forward. This fight is for a world super featherweight championship. So, Brian, you want to say a few words to the crowd? And we have someone that can translate? Okay.
Bueno, a todos los latinos, los que me entienden, porque no sé hablar inglés todavía, muchísimas gracias por estar acá, espero que me estén apoyando en la pelea. Muchas gracias a Fortuna por la oportunidad de la pelea. Estoy preparado, estoy ansioso que llegue la pelea y pues pidiéndole a Dios que todo salga bien.
To all the Latin people that understand me, I'm sorry for the English spoken. I'm learning, I'm working on that. Thank you for being here. I'm going to give a great fight and it'll be a war.
Bueno, bendiciones a todos y que Papá Dios me los cuide.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Brian will be fighting Javier Fortuna, one of the hardest punchers in boxing. This guy's in wars every time he fights. His nickname is El Abajon. When I guess you're Spanish or speak Spanish, you'll know that that means the bee, because he stings like a bee. So, Javier Fortuna, say a few words.
Bueno, muy buena tarde a todos.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Para mí es un honor pelear una cartelera grande aquí.
For me, it's an honor to be here in front of you in Brooklyn.
Le deseo mucho éxito a todos los que peleen aquí en esta noche.
I wait for this night to be a great night for all my fans.
Bueno, ya veremos el próximo 29. Le estaré dando una tremenda guerra. Yo espero que él esté bien preparado y que no tenga ninguna excusa.
I hope so that Friday my opponent doesn't have no excuse because I plan to knock him out.
Para poner en gozo al público y a los fanáticos del boxeo con esa pelea.
And all of you, you will see that.
Muchas gracias, bendiciones para todos. Dios
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
For anyone who is paying attention to what I'm saying, the PBC on Spike telecast is 9 p.m. Eastern time, but it's live on the West Coast, so it's 6 p.m. Pacific time. So the show will begin 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. The main event features two fighters that have been very prominent in sport recently, and Amir has been prominent in the sport for a while. Chris Algieri is a very known commodity. This is his hometown. He's a Long Island guy. He won a title in this building in a shock, what a lot of people were shocked by. When I saw how he began to box the guy's head off, I wasn't so surprised. But when he beat Ruslan Provodnikov in this building, and he expects to shock the world on Friday night. The pride of Huntington, New York, Chris Algieri.
Thank you, Lou. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody coming out today. Enjoying this great afternoon here at the Barclays Center. I'd like to thank the PBC and Spike TV. It's an honor to be back here at the Barclays Center again, and it's also an honor to be fighting on Spike TV for the very first time. It's it's going to be a great night of fights. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure Amir and Team Khan has prepared very well, as have I. So we are ready to put on a great show. Thank you all.
This next fighter is a man whose name is mentioned constantly when it comes to the very biggest fights in boxing as a potential participant. He's a tremendously talented fighter, possesses speed and power. And I think one of the greatest things you can say about this guy is that he's tasted adversity, he's been down, and he's gotten up to beat some of the very best fighters in the world and reestablish himself as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in boxing today. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Amir King Khan.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for turning up here, first of all. Thanks, New York. It's great to be back in New York again. Obviously, my first fight here was against Paulie Malignaggi. That was in 2009, and it was great then. And I'm back here now against Chris Algieri. You know, at the Barclays. I've been to a few events here, I've always wanted to fight here, and I'm really looking forward to, you know, putting a great performance on for all you people in New York and showing how good Amir Khan is. I want to thank Chris Algieri and his team, you know, for taking this fight. Training camp for me has been really good. I've trained very hard for this fight. You know, focused on who my opponent is and not going to make any mistakes, you know. And I'm going to give you all a big fight on Friday. Hopefully it's going to be a great performance by me, and I want you all to enjoy it. So thank you very much for turning up.
Thank you. Okay, once again, PBC on Spike, Friday night fights, Friday night, 9 p.m. East Coast time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Get your tickets, come here, support this great local card at the Barclays Center. Tickets are available at all price ranges. Ticketmaster.com, you can call Ticketmaster, BarclaysCenter.com, Barclays Center box office. Lisa, we're going to post the fighters. So we're going to do, I think, a couple of shots now for the photographers. First, Chris and Amir. Everybody else can stay where they are. Okay, everybody else can get up. Brian, Javier, you want to? Brian, want to go next to Chris? Javier, go over here. Next to Amir. Okay, and then you guys go. All right, thanks.